Hello everybody, welcome back, all two of you who continually to watch my videos. Today this is for parents. This is what I'm doing the video for, just talk as a parent to another parent. And I'm going to be talking about toys. Alright, mainly the transforming robot variety. Now, if you watched my Transformers and Gobots video, which, considering the views, you haven't. Actually, you probably have, since only a few people watch my videos on a regular basis. I went into the history of both and all that. But, now, thanks to the 80s revival and the kids of that era, like me, who are now grown up, they've kind of made a somewhat comeback, and you know, you see them in new media. Kicked off with the Transformers movie, then you had the IDW comics, have Gobots comics now, toys and all that, and that's what I wanted to get into. This here is a reissue of G1 Swerve. The engineering is exactly the same. The only difference is a new face sculpt with new paint. And this is an original Gobot. This is Sparky. And her personality, she was kind of Sparky. I guess I don't know if I should call it G1 Sparky or not. My daughter gave me a Skittles. My kids are out right here, off camera. Say hi, guys.
What's up?
Alright. They're watching The Amazing World of Gumball, which is a cartoon show I actually really like. So, but anyway, we're not here to talk about cartoons, to talk about toys. Because that's what adults do now. And when you look at these old toys from the 80s, there's not a lot of articulation. You basically can stick the arms out, raise and lower them. If because of transformation, like with Swerve, you could kind of get a knee bend. That's about it. Transformations were extremely simple. Here, push the arms in, flip the feet around, and you're done. Sparky, her transformation is a little bit more involved. Kind of got to untab the arms, flip the head out like this, put the arms like this, flip the top down, flip the legs around, flip the toes out, and then flip the rest of the body all the way up. And there she is. And she had raise and lower her arms, and she can do a side kick because of transformation. And also let this be known and be a good example. If anybody tells you that Gobots had simpler transformations than Transformers, they're an idiot and don't know what they're talking about.
One thing, I wouldn't recommend the G1 because, well, no issues of the G1 because they're for little kids who are into Transformers because they're super easy to transform.
Thank you, Bubba. That was the point I was going to raise up later. That's why I have all these examples here. Okay?
Because you can easily just transform them, and then they can basically work their way up into ones like this. Basically harder versions.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you. And that is a point I'm going to be talking about here later. Love you.
I do too.
Okay. So as my son explained, and what I was going to get into is the modern versions of these toys. The transformations are getting to be extremely complex. They're extremely over-engineered, with everything needing... Yeah, honey, I'll get into that, sweetie. Okay? Needing just... Really... Everything needs to be super precise. And a lot of the reason is that, for the most part, a lot of kids don't play with toys anymore. They're on their tablets, they're on the video game consoles, they're on their phones. So, let's be honest, the vast majority of people who are buying these toys are middle-aged, mostly men. And a lot of it comes down to is that the toy makers are trying to make it like it was on the cartoon show. A perfect robot form, with a perfect vehicle form, with a perfect transformation. And you're not going to get that in real life. It's impossible. And the reason the cartoons could get away with it is because cartoons are just lines on paper. They don't have to exist in time and space. They don't have to obey the laws of physics. So you can have things pop out, pull in, twist, turn, however way you want. With, the toys, they do have to exist in 3 dimensions. They have to exist in time and space. They have to obey the laws of physics. So you're not going to have a perfect... You're not going to have all 3 perfects. You're not going to have the perfect robot, the perfect transformation, and the perfect alt mode. Something is going to suffer. And in the original toy lines, the idea was to make the alt mode as close to perfect as possible, have decent transformations, and then have something that was kind of robotish. As long as it was close enough. So... You have something like this, which it's robot-ish. It looks like a robot. But, now to go back through the transformation. Now, you look at this. That's a really good alt mode. The detailing is super nice. For something this scale, it's hyper detailed. If you never wanted to play this as a robot, if you had no interest in transforming alien robots, or in Sparky's case, transforming alien cyborg, you didn't have to. You could put this in with your Matchbox cars and happily play with it as a car all day, every day. And even this, which is a little clunkier, a little less detailed, still, there's no denying that this is a truck, and you could play with it as a truck if you wanted to. However, that's not what people want nowadays. They want the cartoon. And so the toy makers go out of their way to try to make that a reality. Unfortunately, it just over-engineers it, and there's so many places for things to go wrong. For instance, let me get some side swipes out for you. Here is a new old side swipe. This is from 2014. His shoulders don't actually tab in like they're supposed to. So when you play with them, they come out of joint. The latest version of side swipe, this joint right here is so tight that if you actually try to move it, it just pops off. Because it's under such pressure that it just wants to let go. So you really, if you want to move his arm, you really got to hold it. Here is a wind blade. Once again, brand new. Her knee joints are hyper loose. blockhead, he has a loose joint here. Alright, to transform him, you have to unclip a pin by sliding it out. However, it's not secured that well to his head, so while you play with him, the head frequently pops out. And then you get to the actual transformations. Alright, you saw how fast I transformed these. Because when you're a kid and you're playing, you don't want to get out of your play, you just want to go. Having very simple, straightforward transformations makes it easy to go from one mode to the other and not lose your play pattern, your story idea. Now this. Okay, where to start? Okay, first I'll flip her feet out. Okay. Next I'll untab this. And untab these panels. Here. Okay. Untab these. Flip the knee panels down. Flip the wings up. Separate the legs. Flip the tail fin down. Okay. Okay, get that out of the way. Flip her. Okay, flip this back up. Flip the foot around so her heel's in the back. Because all girls need a nice pair of heels. Flip that all the way back. Flip this around. Okay. Now. Alright. Twist. Okay, get this out of the way. Now try to untab the arms. Okay, right here. Okay. And these are locked in so well that I've never been able to transform this without her arms popping off. So, yeah. Twist the waist around. Flip these panels down. Flip these panels down. Put her arms back on. Flip the nose cone down, flip the head out, tab that in, give her her gun, and then you have little Miss Spacey. And you saw how long that took. I could have transformed these, both of these, 10 times over in that amount of time. And you can see if you're someone like who's my son's age or my daughter's age, how that would be very distracting from the play pattern. You're having a story, Guardians versus Renegades, Decepticons versus Autobots. Alright, transform or convert. 10 minutes later, okay, now the other ones. You know what, never mind. And that's the problem. And I know you can make the argument, well, this is by Action Toys, they're kind of a boutique one, but as I point out, it's the same with the Hasbro made stuff. Right here. Slipstream. Highly over-engineered. A complete pain to try and transform. Okay? When my son reviewed this, I made the comment that, you know, the front part doesn't fit into the trailer part quite right. That is like, I said at the time, 1 millimeter, but even half a millimeter too short. And that's because everything is so over-engineered, so precise. Well, it has to be so precise that any manufacturing error whatsoever. It becomes so compound. And sometimes you get things like this with blast off. Whenever you try to transform him, the nose cone usually pops off. And arm mode, if you don't know, Bruticus forms the arm. Blast off forms the arm of Bruticus. These actually don't stay together; they keep separating. Here's another example. Brawl here. You transform him from robot to tank mode. Half the time you can't. You have to struggle to actually get his legs to fit in far enough that he folds up into tank mode. Like I said, these aren't boutique collectibles. These are the mass market, 8-year-old and up versions. These really are the equivalent of what these used to be. And, if I'm having trouble with this, I can only imagine what someone like Josh here has.
Yeah, even knowing I'm 9, I still struggle on trying to get him. I just have him in girl walk mode. That's all I have him in, girl walk mode.
Okay.
If it's just half tank, half robot, it leaves me the struggle of the legs, so. But sometimes you do get things like cliff jumper. It's really easy. All you have to do is pull legs down, split feet apart, pull feet up, like this, like pull that, just like that. Unfold, unpop out the arm. Sometimes it'll be a little hard. And just pull the whole back thing, and just and then you got cliff jumper.
Yeah, honestly, the closest thing to the original Gobot and Transformers are these little Legion and Legend class figures.
Because it's not much.
The transformations are straightforward, they're simple, they're elegant. This is a really nice robot mode. It has really great articulation, more than what any G1 figure had. And the alt mode looks really nice as well. So, it's not like it can't be done. Like these here, if all of them were like this, it would be absolutely perfect. I mean, there were a few more steps in the original, but not many. And that's a really nice jet mode. It's not perfect, but it's still really cool. It's a nice, straightforward transformation. You can transform them really fast. The child doesn't need to get out of their play pattern that much.
Okay.
Unlike, something like Snoop's here.
And Tank. Yeah, and some people actually think the harder it is the bigger it is, the more articulation they get. But I totally disagree. Look at her, and she looks like an actual car. But when Tank, you can still see the face. Like if you transform, like here.
Yeah, Snoops, you can still see.
You see her face, but look at her. You can't see her face at all. It looks like an actual car.
And that brings to another issue with a lot of these modern transforming robot toys, with their engineering being the way it is. You oftentimes get joints that run the gambit from so tight and stiff that you're afraid to move them because they might break.
And so loose, they just pop off. Like his arm will occasionally pop off.
Yeah, I covered that, Boo Bear.
Yep.
Like Snoop's here. Her hip joints are really, really tight. Her knee joints are nice, her elbow joints are nice, but her shoulder joints are really loose. and sometimes her arms will fall off. So the question is, what to do with this? Because even these little Legends class figures are now becoming
so hard to transform.
Are becoming over-engineered. And like I said, I know the reason for that is that people like this really aren't buying them. It's people like me that are buying them who are trying to relive their childhood. Which, why? But at the same time, you know, if I had a choice between people my age buying toys or buying cocaine, I'd rather them buy toys. Not that it should be a choice between either or, but, you know, that's my little to Bill Maher. Anyway, to get back on subject.
One thing, some people actually like the original better, and some people like the new. Which I would go for is the original, because they're so simple, no tough joints. That's all you really had to do.
So you want me to get rid of all your toys?
No.
You want me to stop buying you the new toys?
No. A little practical. Because sometimes So, what? I just don't.
Yeah. Okay. And so, the toy manufacturers have made the business decision that, alright, that even though the packaging says for 8-year-olds and up, that these are really for people in their 40s.
Yes.
But because the engineering is such and so inconsistent with some very loose joints and some very tight joints, the question is, what are you actually going to do with it? She really struggles sometimes to just stand up. As I'm trying to do now, which you can't see because she's off camera, but she keeps falling down. So, if they're too wobbly to stand up or to hold a pose, which is, you think what's going to happen with an adult collector, but they're too complicated and over-engineered for a child to use, then it's like, what's the point? Who is this actually for?
The packaging should say 40 and up because they're super hard. This is what an 8-year-old transformation should be. Not this. This is not an 8-year-old transformation. Even my dad, who's 42.
No, 43.
43 even struggles with these, who are 8-year-old toys.
So that's the thing. And it's not like, and here's the thing. It's not like these are completely horrible, because there are a lot of good things about them. They do have a lot of articulation, but because they're so, like I said, so over-engineered, like you could just see when I tried to move his leg, his lower body came untabbed.
Yeah, when you try to move his gun up, sometimes the gun will flip up.
So, I'm not saying not to buy these. I mean, listen, you're parents, you know what your kids like, you know what they don't like. It's your money, make your decision the way it is. But I just think these toys could be a lot better than what they are. They just need some better QC so you don't have some joints that are so loose that they're just flopping all around, while other joints that are so tight you're scared to death just to move them because they might break on you. Also, easier transformations. That way you can go from vehicle or whatever mode to robot mode faster so you can keep your play going so you don't lose interest.
Yeah, it's not like you have to spend like minutes out of your play to transform one. You could just like easy couple of 1 minute to get these back to playing. Not like a lot of time doing the other transformations like these guys. You just absolutely forget what you're doing.
And here's the deal, toy companies. I know people my age, we have the disposable income to buy stuff like this and put on our shelves. But we're middle-aged. Eventually, we're going to be elders. And most of our disposable income is going to go to healthcare. And then we're going to die. Then you won't have any customer base. These are your future. Okay? These are the ones you have to reach. Alright? If you want a future beyond 20 years, to when we're old enough, we get to the age where we have to start buying diabetes medication, heart pills, and all types of other things just to keep our rotting corpses alive. You gotta make stuff for them. You gotta appeal to them.
Yes, because what you are doing is basically making kids who buy these totally lose out. Because if you want a future with like you guys being bankrupt, don't make these so difficult. That's what's wrong.
Alright, anyway, parents, that was my little review of the modern transforming toys. Thanks to my kids, Josh and Tara. They were not planned to be in the video, but they made it a lot more fun than just seeing my fat, bald butt talking in front of the screen the whole time. And till next time, I will see you.